Every year, SHOT Show reveals some of the most exciting new releases in the firearms world, and 2025 is no exception. As always, 9mm pistols are stealing the spotlight, with designs that cater to firearm enthusiasts and Pro 2A preppers alike. In this video, we'll talk about 7 brand new models, from budget-friendly options to modular designs that are perfect for your EDC or prepping arsenal. And without further ado, number 1. Canik Mite MC9 Prime. There's always that excitement that stirs whenever a new 9mm pistol is announced. And the Canik Mite MC9 Prime has been creating quite a stir among everyone who's gone to SHOT Show 2025. It marks the first time Canik has built a pistol right here in the States, and that alone has us folks ready to see if the brand's reliable track record translates to American soil. If you're a fan of micro-compact pistols that deliver capacity without weighing you down, this one might land on your wish list. The Mite MC9 Prime has a 17+1 capacity, which is enough firepower for most day-to-day scenarios, whether it's your EDC or a backup in your go bag. Canik spent about 2 years refining the Mite platform, and they listened closely to what shooters wanted. That is obvious when you hold this pistol. There's co-witness capability for your optic, a refined slide that's integrally compensated, and a flared design that makes it easier to manipulate under stress. It's got a flat face aluminum trigger with a 90-degree break. It's lighter than you might expect too, so if you're used to a squishy factory trigger, this is a pleasant upgrade. The grip itself has extended stippling for a better hold, and extra back straps let you tweak it until it feels perfect in your hand. There's also a reversible G-code holster that comes in the package, and it ships in a premium hard case with cleaning and toolkits, plus 2 17-round mags. That's a pretty complete loadout from the factory. Number 2. Taurus GX2. I've seen plenty of Taurus pistols come and go, and the budget-friendly models tend to attract those of us who need a truck gun or a first-time buy for a friend who's getting into shooting. The GX2 is Taurus's latest attempt at giving folks an affordable 9mm that can still hold its own in real-world use. It splits the difference between the GX4 and the older G2 series, so it's not too large, not too small, and priced so you won't feel like you're pouring money down the drain. If you're on the lookout for a straightforward, no-frills handgun for concealed carry, this is one to consider. With a barrel around 3.38 inches, it's short enough to tuck away comfortably, and it only weighs a little over 19 ounces empty. Now that's handy for long day carry. The grip texture secures the pistol in your hand when you fire, and the mag release is reversible if you shoot left-handed. The capacity is 13+1, which should give you enough rounds for most practical purposes. Some folks want higher numbers, but you can always carry an extra mag around if you feel the need. The sights are traditional white dot up front and a drift adjustable rear, which isn't the fanciest setup but works just fine if you've practiced enough. The Picatinny rail up front opens the door if you ever want to add a small light or laser. At the range, it handles a variety of ammo with no hiccups. That's big news if you want a gun that won't fuss about budget steel-cased rounds or high-grade defensive loads. The trigger is also flatter than Taurus's older designs, so you might find your follow-up shots are quicker and more accurate. The recoil is mild, and you can maneuver it easily for close-quarters drills or transitions. The biggest con is that it's not optics ready, which might bother you if you've gone all in on red dots. But at just over $300 MSRP and street prices in the $200 range, it's still a tempting option. Number 3. FN Reflex XL. The FN Reflex made quite a splash when it arrived 2 years ago, and FN is now back with the Reflex XL, a slightly larger variation that still focuses on discreet carry. You might be thinking that once pistols go bigger, they lose the charm of easy concealment, but the folks at FN claim they tried to thread the needle by adding capacity and shootability without making it bulky. My take? This is just a hammer-fired SIG P365X macro, but let me know down in the comments what you think. So this Reflex XL, it gives you a 15+1 flush-fit mag and an 18-round extended version. The pistol's only 6.75 inches in overall length, so it's surprisingly shorter than a Glock 19. It weighs around 20 ounces as well, so it's not some unwieldy brick. The muzzle has a 3.8-inch cold hammer forged barrel, a signature feature of FN's lineup. You might not see the advantage during casual plinking, but that type of barrel can go the distance if you run your pistol hard or put a lot of rounds downrange. FN claims the trigger is smooth, with about a 5-pound pull. It is an internal hammer-fired system, so that might appeal to those of you who have never warmed up to the idea of striker-fire guns. The slim 1.1-inch width helps you conceal it in a waistband holster as well. There's also a cut for mounting a red dot if that's part of your shooting setup. You won't have to do any fancy slide modifications or send it off to a gunsmith. FN has designed it to fit popular footprints like the Shield RMSC or Holosun 507K. FN also refined the grip with interchangeable backstraps so you can tailor the fit to your hand size. The beaver tail extension offers a higher, more comfortable grip, and the undercut on the trigger guard frees up some space for your support hand. Sometimes the smaller pistols can feel snappy or cramped, but the Reflex XL aims to avoid that problem. MSRP sits at $719. Now we're going to take a second to remind you to like, subscribe, and share the hell out of this video. Your views, likes, and subscriptions are the entire reason our team can bring you human-created content for the weapon enthusiast, homesteader, prepper, and more so just to the everyday guy wanting to get prepared. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. So to those of you who have already subbed, and to those of you who are about to do just that, thank you. Number 4. Fusion Firearms Irmox XP Pro 2011. Last year, there was this under-the-radar Turkish pistol that offered some serious bang for your buck, the Irmox Defense X-Fire. It was basically a $300 Glock 19 with an aluminum frame and grip panels. The red ones in particular made it look like a friggin' Dan Wesson DWX. Pretty wild. Well, the same crew behind the X-Fire is back with something new, the Irmox XP Pro 2011. This one's a 1911 style pistol, but here's the kicker. It uses Glock magazines. If you've ever wanted the classic 1911 vibe without hunting down pricey mags, this might just catch your attention. At first glance, it's a handsome piece. Fusion built the frame with aluminum, skipped MIM parts, and machined everything for a cleaner finish. You also get an optic-ready slide with a variety of mounting plates. The grip angle sits somewhere between a Glock and a traditional 1911, so it might suit a range of preferences. The magwell is also wide, which can help with fast reloads, though you can swap it out if you want less bulk. But accuracy is one of the biggest talking points. Out at 25 yards, you can land consistent headshots or ring steel with ease. And that's partly due to the crisp trigger and stable design. It runs smoothly when it's functioning properly, but early tests do show a few hiccups, which also can be fixed by breaking it in. Standard 17-rounders fed more reliably, and the single-piece trigger and bow design also shows that they really wanted to deliver something more refined than a slapped-together parts kit. At an MSRP of around $1,100, it isn't as cheap as the X-Fire, but for a 2011 style pistol that marries Glock mags with 1911 ergonomics, it's a bargain. Number 5. Ruger RXM. Ruger's new RXM borrows heavily from the Glock 19 concept, but twists it in surprising ways. It's still a 9mm with a 4-inch barrel and a 15+1 capacity, so we're not talking about an oddball design, but it's got one key difference. Ruger collaborated with Magpul for the polymer frame. With Ruger's version of SIG's FCU, you can swap out different grip modules, or at least replace the existing one if you feel like you need a different texture or shape. A lot of us appreciate that kind of modular setup because it allows you to adapt the pistol without buying an entirely new firearm. The texturing itself is gritty enough to lock in your grip while still leaving the front strap smooth. Ruger also designed an extended beaver tail to keep you safe from any slide bite if you grip high. The RXM is optics ready, so you can mount popular red dots like the RMR or Holosun with the right plates. If you've joined the red dot revolution, you'll find that a huge plus. Now, it's not perfect. For one thing, the mag release isn't reversible, and that could be a real deal breaker if you're a lefty or simply prefer ambidextrous controls. But the MSRP does come in at 500 smackers. Not bad if you want to step up from bargain basement Turkish Glock 19 clones, but don't want to invest in a more expensive build. Number 6. Chris Chimera. Chris is known for their Vector line, which has its own cult following among PDW enthusiasts who like something a bit out of the ordinary. With the new Chimera, they're jumping into the new 9mm pistol space in a big way. They didn't stick to the typical striker-fired formula. Instead, they went with a hammer-fired DASA system, and that alone tells you that they're trying to do something different. Like the RXM, the Chimera also has their own version of SIG's FCU housed in the polymer chassis that allows you to swap grip modules so you can adjust size, angle, and even go from a full size to a compact setup. If you're a tinkerer or you like a sidearm that can adapt to various carry methods, that's definitely going to grab your attention. Chris made the Chimera work with CZ75 pattern mags, so if you already have a stash of them, you're in luck. There is a slight learning curve if you've never run into a double action first shot, but some folks actually prefer that heavier initial pull for that extra peace of mind when carrying hot. After the first shot, you switch to single action for lighter follow-ups, which can be a blast for rapid strings of fire. Because Chris teamed up with Agency Arms on the slide, you get an optics-ready platform and a built-in rear sight cut that allows co-witnessing with a red dot. The pistol is well balanced and points nicely. We don't have any official numbers on capacity, weight, or final pricing, but if you want an update on this model, let us know in the comments. Number 7. Savage Stance XR. There were people in the community who originally thought Savage had no business making concealed carry pistols when the first Stance pistol was released, but they were proven wrong. The earlier models combined reliability, a good price, and enough features to keep new and experienced shooters satisfied. Like all SIG P320 modular imitators, the Stance came with its own version of the SIG's FCU that lets you mix and match parts without having to swap out the whole gun. It also had ambidextrous controls and an optional manual safety, great for lefties and anyone who likes that extra layer of security. But the new Stance XR kicks things up a notch. It's still a 9mm striker-fire pistol, but it's now got a pick rail molded into the dust cover. The slide is shaped for easy mounting of optics, and Savage provides a quick-release plate system that lets you switch out red dots in a jiffy. If you liked the original Stance but wished it had a better trigger, the Savage retooled the XR's trigger group, giving it a shorter reset and a cleaner break. The magazine capacity is higher too. You get a flush fit mag that holds 10 rounds, and an extended version that ups that to 13. The pistol weighs in at around 22 ounces unloaded, with a 3.2-inch barrel and an overall length of 6.2 inches. Compact enough for everyday carry, but still large enough to manage recoil comfortably. Pricing starts at $461 for the basic model and climbs up to $631 if you opt for the version that ships with a mounted red dot. Highly competitive compared to other EDC-sized guns with similar features. And those are 7 of the coolest new 9mm pistols unveiled at SHOT Show 2015. Now, I'm loving the FN Reflex XL personally, but I'm curious to know which model caught your eye. Drop a comment below and let us know what it is and why you like it. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any future prepping content. Thanks for tuning in. As always, this is Threat to Survival. Prepare today, thrive tomorrow. Embrace the threat to survival.